Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. Thank you for writing in to us about a difficulty that you're facing with your husband right now, or ongoing difficulties, should I say. Now, when people write in and they're having difficulties in their marriage, one of the first things that I suggest is to go and seek couples counselling, relationship counselling, to know that, even if you're feeling in so much despair that you want the relationship to end, then at least you've tried everything possible to make things work, at least by seeking counselling together and being in that environment where you can express all your concerns in front of a mutual party. So this is what I would usually suggest, but in cases like your own, where there is abuse and you're in a toxic relationship, this might not be the best option for you right now. Because the thing is, you've mentioned that he has physically abused you and emotionally abused you on several occasions. And for you to continue to forgive him for it, of course, this is a great thing to do, to be forgiving of people. But when somebody's abusing you like your husband is, and to continue telling him that you forgive him and then your things are okay again, and then he does it again, you're letting him know that this is okay. His behavior is okay. So of course he's going to come back and do it again, and he's going to continue to abuse you because you're, without saying that it's okay to do that, continue to do that by letting him get away with it. That's what you're allowing to happen. So I wouldn't endorse remaining in a relationship that is so toxic and abusive like this. But of course, I can't tell you that you should leave him. That would be entirely your choice. But I want you to think about things from that perspective, that the way you are behaving towards him in this matter is letting him know that it's okay. And understandably, you're feeling, really down about it right now. He's telling you that you couldn't do better than him, and this is part of what's preventing you from walking away, because perhaps you believe this. But actually, the truth is, he's abusing you, and there are Allah-fearing men out there who don't abuse their wives. They fear Allah and they don't do that. So definitely there are people out there who treat their wives better than that. So don't believe what he's telling you in terms of that you won't find anyone better. Now, I would, like I said, urge caution about seeking counselling together and trying to make things work, because I'm a bit skeptical given that he is abusing you. Now, I know, of course, I'm only hearing one side of the story, but the fact is, from this side, he's abusing you and you're experiencing that. Even if he is a good man, other than that, maybe your side of things, maybe he would report things, that you're not a very good person as well. Maybe that's what he would say. I'm only hearing your side, but at the same time, if he's doing these things to you, then it's abuse. Now, even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend relationship counselling at this point, I would definitely recommend counselling for yourself, because clearly you're very distressed and you need this kind of support. So certainly for yourself, I would recommend seeking counselling for yourself and focusing on yourself. Right now you're so distressed with everything that's going on in this relationship with him that you have had little time to focus on yourself, because you're trying to, really focus on the marriage and potentially trying to make it work. Although it doesn't necessarily feel that way, because like you've said, you're made to feel like you couldn't do any better than him. So definitely look to getting counselling for yourself to deal with the psychological difficulties that you're facing. Clearly you've been abused emotionally, you've been abused physically, and this is going to really take its toll on you. So certainly I would suggest this. And also, aside from counselling as well, focus on yourself as well. You've spent so much time feeling down about yourself because your husband is constantly putting you down. He's having affairs behind your back, and he's not, just doesn't seem to be shy to deny it or to say sorry for it or anything. So obviously this is going to make you feel terrible about yourself. So, you need some time to focus on yourself. Do things that you enjoy without believing the terrible things that he says to you. Focus on yourself. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. Boost yourself emotionally and spiritually as well, to help you feel better with the situation as well. Now, it seems another thing that's preventing you from moving forward with a separation from him, as much as it does seem like this is the way you feel is the way forward, and certainly if he is being abusive like this, then I would certainly recommend the same. But your fear is that, what your family would say and what other people would say about it, and how that would maybe spoil the reputation of yourself and the family. But I think it's really important for you to, when you're thinking about this, to consider the fact that worrying about what other people think is not what you should be worrying about now. You should be worrying about yourself and what Allah might think of the matter, but not what other people think about it. Because it's only going to, again, serve as something that will prevent you from moving forward with what will be better for you. Likewise, with believing the things that He's saying to you about, that you wouldn't find anyone better. Now, one thing or one way that perhaps you could encourage yourself in moving forward with this is, imagine if one of your friends, one of your good friends, your sister, if you have one, or a female cousin, an auntie, or any female person who is close to you, imagine if they should come to you and tell you the same story that you told me here. What would you tell them? Would you tell them that they should stay, that they should try and work things out? Because of course you know what the situation is from his side and from your side. You know the full story, as much as I'm only reading the story from one side. You know the story. You know how he treats you in depth, and how you treat him back. You know the full story. Now, if somebody close to you, a sister close to you, came and told you these things, what would you tell her? Would you tell her to remain in the relationship? Would you tell her to listen to the things that he's saying, or to try and work things out for the sake of saving your reputation and your family's reputation in the family? So think of it from that perspective as well. It enables you to kind of take a step back from your own personal feelings on the situation and really think about it from an outsider's perspective as well, because it's very easy to get caught up in your own personal emotions on the situation, whereas if you can separate yourself from that, then it can make it easier in moving forward, because you are looking at the situation a bit more objectively. Even think about, what would you advise a sister who comes to you that you don't even know? Because, this is a pretty terrible situation. Even if you didn't know the person, you weren't close to them, think about how you would advise them too. So, of course, like I said, I can't tell you that the best thing for you to do is this, because I'm only hearing one side of the story, so I'd be wrong to advise you to do one thing over another. This is for you to make that choice. So what I would suggest at this point is taking some time away from the situation. So spend some time away from your marital home, and this will also give you the chance to kind of separate yourself from the situation as well, and make it easier to think about the situation and what you'll do moving forward. It'll give you a break from the situation as well, to kind of relax away from him and his abuse. And when you're in the situation now by yourself, consider the advantages to staying and to going, and basically all the different options that are available to you right now, and what the consequences of these different actions would be. And this will help you to guide you to make the best decision moving forward, because it gives you that space on your own to consider the different options in front of you. And like I said, consider it in terms of somebody that you know, somebody close to you, or even somebody not close to you. How would you advise them if they should come to you in the same situation? So may Allah make things easy for you moving forward. May He guide you to make the best decision, and may He bless you with the best in this life and the hereafter.